Link was returned to the past by Zelda so he can relive his childhood. He then goes to Hyrule Castle and tells Zelda everything that happened. She gives Link the Ocarina of Time and teaches him the Song of Time. As a result, the Sacred Realm is protected. Done with the battles he once waged across time, he embarked on a journey, a secret and personal journey. A journey in search of a beloved and invaluable friend with whom he parted ways when he finally fulfilled his destiny and took his place among legends. That friend is none other than Navi, who disappeared after fulfilling her duty as a companion. Link is on his steed, Epona, searching for Navi in the woods. That is until he is knocked off his horse by two fairies named Tattle and Tail, who are with the Skull Kid wearing a sinister mask. The Skull Kid then takes the Ocarina of Time and Epona as Link gives chase. Link then enters a parallel world known as Termina, and is cursed by the Skull Kid, turning him into a Deku Scrub. Tattle is left behind by the Skull Kid, and to make amends with Link, she becomes his companion so she can reunite with her brother. Link then encounters the Happy Mask Salesman, who tasks him with retrieving the mask that was stolen by the Skull Kid. He realizes he only has 3 days to get it back. He succeeds in getting his Ocarina back and plays the Song of Time before the menacing moon crashes on Termina. He returns back to his original form with the Song of Healing, taught to him by the Happy Mask Salesman. He also learns that the mask the Skull Kid stole from the Happy Mask Salesman is called Majora's Mask. It was a mask used by an ancient tribe known for its hexing rituals. It was so powerful and sinister that the tribe sealed it away to prevent its misuse. What became of that tribe? No one really knows. In this journey across Termina, Link heals the sorrows of not only the Deku Scrub, who was the son of the Deku King's royal servant, but also the sorrows of Mikau the Sora and Darmani the Goron. Link encounters many familiar faces that he knows in Hyrule and helps them all, thus bringing them happiness. Once he breaks the curses on the temples located in the Deku Swamp, Snowhead Mountain, Great Bay, and Ikana Canyon, Link confronts the Skull Kid and places an oath to order, thus breaking the mask's hold on the Skull Kid. However, Majora is not done yet, as he threatens to crash the moon into the land. Link goes with Tattle in the moon and passes the trials of Majora until finally ready to confront the latter. He is given the fierce deity's mask and succeeds in defeating Majora. The moon disintegrates and Termina is saved. The evil has finally left the mask, and the Skull Kid has been redeemed for his actions. Link parts ways with Tattle, Tail, and the Skull Kid, and the Carnival of Time begins as everyone happily celebrates. Link returns back to Hyrule in search for Navi, but sadly, he never finds her. Now that Zelda learned about Ganondorf's intentions, he was sentenced to execution by the ancient sages in the Arbiter's grounds. Because of time travel shenanigans, the Triforce of Power appears in Ganondorf's hand and breaks out of his chains, killing one of the sages. The sages banish Ganondorf to the Twilight Realm and are told by the gods to protect the mirror which leads to the realm at all costs. And as for Link, inspired by his heroic deeds, he becomes one of the Knights of Hyrule, and years later he dies in battle. He laments how no one remembered him as a hero of time, but vows to live on as a spirit to pass on his skills to someone worthy one day. Ganondorf gives a twilight creature known as Sand magic powers. Ganondorf is attempting to merge both the Light Realm and the Twilight Realm into the Dark World, in which he would reign supreme. Hyrule Castle is then attacked by Sand, who gives Zelda a choice: life or death. Seeing no other way out, Zelda is forced to surrender, and the kingdom falls into darkness of the Twilight. Link is living a peaceful life in Orden Village. He works as a farm boy for the mayor and is good friends with his daughter, Ilia. One day, Link is tasked with presenting a sword to the royal family, but then a creature known as King Bublin appears and kidnaps both Ilia and Colin. Link gives chase immediately and enters the Twilight Realm and turns into a wolf. He then meets Midna, an imp who he is forced to team up with and accept as his companion. Link then returns to Orden Village and retrieves the sword and shield and returns to the Twilight to awaken the guardian spirit, Farron, and then awakens as the hero. Link's first task is to obtain one of the 3 pieces of the fused shadow in the Forest Temple. After successfully destroying the evil in the Forest Temple, Link heads to Hyrule and restores Kakariko back into the light, and reunites with his faithful steed Epona. He then rescues Colin from King Bublin in an epic battle at Elden Bridge. He earns the Goron's trust by passing the test of strength and saving the Goron leader, Thyrus, from the Fused Shadow's dark influence. Link would later unfree Sora's domain and save Prince Rallis with the help of Telma and an amnesiac Ilia. After that, Link obtains the 3rd Fused Shadow at the Lakebed Temple, and just when Midna is about to use the Fused Shadows to restore to her original form, Sand has been anticipating this moment and turns Link into a wolf once again, and Midna is struck down and about to die. Link returns to Hyrule Castle, and with the help of Princess Zelda, she gives her light to Midna to resurrect her. The duo then goes to the Lost Woods to obtain the Sword of Evil's Bane and restore Link to his human form. Once Link arrives to the Sacred Grove, he passes the test, and the sword removes an artifact from his head. He would then lift the Master Sword from its pedestal once again. Their next journey is to find Zand, but the mirror to the Twilight Realm located in the Arbiter's grounds is broken. So then, Link and Midna then head to find the missing pieces at Snow Peak, the Temple of Time, and the Sky Temple. Throughout this journey, Ilia recovers her memory and Link is trained by a spirit, teaching him all of his techniques. This spirit was once known as the Hero of Time, who lamented that after returning to his childhood, no one remembered his heroic deeds, but lingered to pass on his techniques to someone worthy, and now he can rest in peace, knowing that Hyrule will be safe. Link and Midna then head into the Twilight Realm after finally gathering all the pieces of the Mirror of Twilight. The Master Sword is empowered with more light, and Link battles against the evil Sand and is triumphant. The barrier at Hyrule Castle is then broken, and Link heads there to confront the mastermind of all of this, the evil King Ganondorf. Link fights a possessed Princess Zelda, the Dark Beast Ganon, and finally defeats the evil king himself in a sword duel. Ganondorf warns Link and Zelda that this is not the end. As long as those of their blood exist, there will be others who share his blood, and the cycle will repeat once again. Ganondorf then dies, and the Triforce of Power disappears from his hand. Midna then returns to her original form and bids both Link and Zelda farewell. She breaks the mirror, ensuring there will be no longer any interference between the two realms. Hyrule has been at peace for hundreds of years. Relations with the Gerudo have improved and everything seems to be calm. But peace is so fleeting as evil can always return to bring misery and wreak havoc. Ganon, a reincarnation of Ganondorf, stole the trident from the ancient pyramid and the dark mirror from the Temple of Darkness. His scheme is to release Vati from his seal in the Four Sword and created Shadow Link to aid in doing so. The six maidens attempted to renew the seal on Vati, but Shadow Link scattered them. Shadow Link would trick the real Link into pulling the Four Sword from its pedestal, thus releasing the evil Vati from his seal with the side effect of making 4 copies of Link. With the power of 4, the 4 Links would proceed to save the maidens and got 4 jewels from the Knights of Hyrule that were turned into Stalfos by Shadow Link. Their final destination was the Temple of Winds, where Vati was finally destroyed and Ganon was sealed in the Four Sword. This marks the end of the Child Timeline.